Great, thank you. We're also recording the chat. So those of you who are planning on um, applying for the grant program, if you have not sent me an email with your paragraph, you can also put it in the chat. We're going to we're going to keep that chat and add it to the amount of people who have already applied for it, which is over 20 at this point. And we have some particular announcements today.
Testing
Amazing.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Bob. John, can you hear?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, John. Dennis, maybe you can call him on the phone and see if he can talk him down from
Testing 1, 2,
from the
3.
cliff. I tried to
Testing
mute him,
1, 2, 3.
Okay, just one second. If I can find, oh, there he is. Okay. So anyway, in 2006, we had the first meeting of Cities of Peace, and we invited Peter Van den Dungen, who, oh, there he.
Testing, hello.
John, can you hear?
Yes,
Testing,
I'm getting
hello.
yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay, John from DR
Thank
Congo.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you.
I'll get back with you in just a minute. I'm going to mute our
All right.
rogue.
All right.
But anyway, in 2006, we had the first meeting of City of Peace organization. We invited people from around the area in Dayton, Ohio, where we had a International Peace Museum, which is still thriving. And Lonnie Franks is a part of that, a big part of it, actually. And we decided to create.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're going to have problems. Dennis, do you know John's phone number? Maybe we could give him a call. Dennis Wong. Anyway, I'm going to have to probably have to I'm going to put him in the waiting room for a while. Anyway, 2006, we had a big convocation of potential City of Peace ideas. The reason we started that was because when we opened the Dayton International Peace Museum, there was a picture in the editorial page, and they don't usually do that, but it was a picture of the opening of the Dayton International Peace Museum in 2004, I believe it was, if Lonnie can remind me. But anyway, we'd worked several years to create the International Peace Museum in Dayton. And we decided from that editorial, where the editor of the paper said, "Isn't it time Dayton became a city of peace?" And at that point, we brought people in. People were very excited about it. We worked for a couple of years, and then we split off from the Dayton International Peace Museum because we wanted to create a global organization. And we got permission from the person who was the scholar of Cities of Peace, Peter Van den Dungen, out of Bradford, England, who's started also the International Network of Museums for Peace. So we called him and said, is there a possibility that Dayton, Ohio could be the place where a City of Peace organization for the globe started? And we were hesitant about that. We wanted to make sure that it shouldn't be started in Geneva or New York or places like that. And Peter said that because of the negotiation to stop the Bosnian War, that that it would make sense for a regular town like Dayton, Ohio, to become the center of a City of Peace movement, because that's what we wanted. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't just Geneva and Rome and these large places with a long, long history of City of Peace efforts. We wanted to make sure it was good for everybody, every village in the world, every town, every municipality, every neighborhood. And that's what I think we've accomplished. And that's why we put together this package, which we'll describe a little bit. But I want to bring in more people. They're stacking up while I'm talking. Here comes John. Hopefully he can. So in 2009, I met with a fellow called Steve Freiberg, who was also director of the Peace Museum at the time. And he had traveled to Iran, and he had traveled to Iraq and Egypt and all these war-torn places in the world. And he said, well, let's start it globally. And so that was the genesis of International City of Peace. In 2009, we applied for nonprofit status and got 501c3 of that year. We managed a trademark, even though we had to pay lawyers a lot of money in order to do that. But we've managed to create an organization that is substantial, but small at the same time. And that's the key: small but substantial, because the real importance are the people on this call that have started a City of Peace in their community. People like Claude and people like John Makuta and DR Congo. And if any of the people in South America come on, they only speak Spanish, so it's very difficult for them to come on to these English only Zooms. But there's places in Brazil, and there's places in Peru, and all kinds of places around the world. And now we total 404. And I want to open it up and thank a couple of people who have been recently additions, and one of them is Kevin Mann. And, I wondered if, hi, Barbara, everybody that came on, Bob Nichols and Christine from Cleveland, and my gosh, there's Lori from El Paso, Heather from Arizona, Uma from Dayton, Ohio, and Heartfulness Center. Brian Berman, either he's in Poland or he's in Ohio already, maybe next week. Jennifer Brady, Patchogue, we'll be talking to her, and she'll be giving us an update on what she's doing. Frederick from Uganda, Frank from Wapachek, Connecticut, the St. Benedict community out of, I believe, Kenya. It's hard for me to keep the everything in there. Bob McKechnie from Cathedral City. We have more people. Jane from New Zealand, Catherine Lee from Hawaii, and Desmond from British Columbia. So David from Eugene, Oregon, who was our first City of Peace and became a City of Peace before we started this organization. So I want to give kudos to him. But one of the things that we did was make sure that we weren't the center of attention, that it's the cities of peace. And there's a lot of people on this call right now who are working in their community in dire circumstances. And they have appreciated the idea that we are able to give them a little more authority within their community. And so that the peacemakers can rise up to surpass the warmongers, as we say. So that's part of the extraordinary outcome of 15 years of work, not just from me. It's from a lot of people, and we'll show you that just in a few minutes. But I'm going to open it up to Kevin Mann, who has to leave. Kevin, can you come on?
Sure can, yeah.
Great.
So,
can you tell us a little bit about your new City of Peace and what you have
be
in
happy
mind?
to. So first of all, hello to everyone. It's wonderful to be involved with such a wonderful group of people. I am a Rotarian, and one of the fundamental building blocks of Rotary is peace building and conflict resolution. Our next RI president next year, Stephanie, is put peace at the forefront. So a number of Rotarians, Dennis Wan, who's also on here as well, we've been working on a number of initiatives. So the initiative that our International Cities of Peace is called a Corridor of Peace. It's our catchment area for our Rotary Club. It involves 4 school districts, and a basic geometric area involving two major roads in the communities. And the idea is to link all the communities together to increase the peace. One of our projects will be a international essay contest, also an art contest, poetry contest, as well as the planting of peace poles, and bring together shareholders to determine what they see as their method for increasing the peace. So our mini grant application was just that, to have agencies within our catchment area come up with their plan to increase the peace in their own zone. And then whichever one got the best reaction from the steering committee would be giving a peace pole to plant in their particular area. Our goal is, one of our major goals, of course, is planting peace poles, which is also a Rotary goal.
Yeah, that's great. And John Baum was kind of the genesis of that idea, and Jen Brady from Patchogue, New York. All of these towns on Long Island hopefully will have peace poles, and also come into the fold of cities of peace, either through their Rotarian practices or through their community practices. So it's very important that Kevin Mann came in first for the Rotary Rotarian City of Peace platform that we now have, and we'll talk a little bit about that with the people who are facilitating that. There's Judy Timmons from Midland, Michigan. I want to call out Judy because Judy and Gail Hoffman. Gail Hoffman's in charge of the Rotarianism Cities of Peace effort, and they have worked really hard to make sure that our online application for Rotary is better and better. And they have created Midland Community City of Peace and also Midland Rotary City of Peace. So each community can do two different platforms now. And the community has, a wide range, everything from the library, all the different stakeholders. But Rotary has a huge influence within International Cities of Peace, and it's because of Rotary's commitment to peace. And so we have created a separate entity, Rotarianism for International Cities of Peace, and you can get that more information on the website on that. And it's a tremendous program that Kevin is the first one to utilize, but there's going to be many, many more. So we'll talk about that in just a second. We're going to take two people and talk about this mini grant idea, and then we'll go into some of the facilitator updates. But I wonder if Claude, can you unmute and talk a little bit about where you are and what your mini grant application was? Go ahead.
That's Fred. That is me?
No, I'll get you in 1 second. Now we're going to talk to Claude. Go ahead, Claude. You're on. You can go ahead and speak now, I believe. Claude, go ahead. It looks like Claude may be having trouble. So John Makuta from Kowizi Democratic Republic of Congo. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Over 10 years ago, I believe. Can you tell a little bit quickly about the project you have in mind for the application?
Exactly. For following the World Peace Foundation, we have got a big, huge project we need to start. We are going to send it very soon, but this project, it is very important for us. We have got a lot of problems in our community. So in our community, we have got a lot of problems. In this 1 week, there is two big situation, violence. And the same youth, 3 days ago, they killed a baby. So we have got in the community, in three community, there is a lot of problems. So now we need to change those youth to be the peacemaker. So we must mobilize them. We must discuss with them. We must give them the idea of peace, how they can stop, this violence they are doing. So if we start with a small project, I think we are going to involve media. So the media must come in. Then I think we are going to have that opportunity. The government can be with us. So
Yes.
because every time what we are doing, every time the government intervene. So that's why for this project we send for 300. It can seem like a small money, but it can bring the good results.
Yeah,
The good
great.
result, yes, we can collect, we can change some youth.
Okay.
The way I send, we have got the three
Hello.
communities where we are going
Testing
to
1, 2,
target.
3.
Yes. So that is the situation. It is very, very important for us. And we are, the population, they are in danger with this youth. So which
Okay.
means we need to do something. We say this small project. And if we can continue with that, I think the government, or we can have some donors again, can sponsor for this to make a big project for
Thank you, John.
teaching this youth. That is the situation, Fred.
Okay, well, thank you very much, John. I tell you what, you know, when we met John about 10 years ago, he created a city of peace in Lubumbashi near
Yes.
Kolwezi, and he got together with the Rotary, and he got together with the chief of the area, and he brought in the peacekeeping forces and had a meeting, and the chief of, you know, the presiding officer in the community gave John 10,000 bricks in order to start a school, to build a school. So that's the kind of man John is, to be able to bring in those resources. So he's a very, very good case study of how International Cities of Peace can embolden and give more authority to the peacemakers. So all of these, you know, we've had maybe 25 different projects coming in. John's one of them. Claude is another. Kevin is another. And I'm going to send, after this meeting, a paragraph to the facilitators, people like David Wick and Danielle and Lonnie, and they're going to go through them, hopefully, and they're going to pick 2 or 3, and we'll see which ones they're drawn to. And not only will they get, if they're selected, and there's some criteria for it, not only that, but we have an anonymous donor on the call right now, and that anonymous donor gave another $400. So not only is it going to be $300, it's going to be $500 for 2 programs that we can. So that's you know, it's a good sign. You know, we haven't done too much of this, but there's a possibility that the more you create this idea of these amazing cities of peace around the world, there will be donors, but the donors will go to them directly. It doesn't need to pass through International Cities of Peace. And that's the beauty of International Cities of Peace. The liaisons do not work for us. We don't tell them what to do, but we give them authority through the services that we provide. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Fred.
Yeah, thank you very much. John, I'm going to have to move on to another person, but I thank you very much. We'll look at your project. Thank you. Claude, did you were you able to get a voice? Do you want to speak now, Claude? Go ahead and talk. Or are you having trouble with the technology? So until Claude gets that done, we'll go ahead and after speaking with Kevin, I want to commend not only Judy Timmons and Gail Hoffman, but also Hafiz. Hafiz is, if he's on the call, I'm not sure he is, but Hafiz Uzzaman is a colleague of Dr. Catherine Lee, who is on this call. Dr. Catherine Lee, could you explain a little bit about the two projects that you worked on in terms of the ICP classroom and also providing a support for our software update in order for us to give online applications? Go ahead, Catherine, if you can.
I guess really the only credit I can give is that I found the people, but they've been working directly with Fred more or less, especially the technology and building the website. I know that a couple of courses have been created by my students, and if you need more students, all I can say is let me know. And there are always some to be found who are very bright to be able to do a volunteer work. So just keep me posted. Thank you.
Okay, Catherine minimizes her input into this, but it's huge. Not only the facilitator doesn't actually have to do the work, but they are kind of responsible for getting it done. So Catherine is had a great process. She was developing interns, and the interns turned out to be fantastic. And we had two courses that our interns were able to develop, and Hafiz was able to work with me in my weakest moments. Is this going to work? Is this going to work? And so he kept me grounded, and we worked through this off-the-shelf software package and modified it and customized it so it's perfect for International Cities of Peace. So right now, anybody around the world can go in and apply to become an International City of Peace, and it not only creates a listing for them, it creates a profile for them, and that profile is updatable. So it provides a website, literally a website for places around the world that can't afford to have a website. So International Cities of Peace, as a free service, is providing a web page for Cities of Peace, anywhere in the world at this point. So we are positioned for our 1,000 City of Peace goal. So basically, Hafiz was able to do that because of his expertise in WordPress, and we were able to do it for a lot less money than we would have had to spend to outsource it. So that program has worked fantastic, and I want to commend Hafiz. Maybe Catherine can convey that to him. But also, Catherine had two different interns create our classroom for the ICP classroom. So that's working great now. There's almost 100 people that have taken the free courses from the ICC classroom. And it was interesting. We had to put security measures in after we had an attack by a group that dropped our website. So we put in security forces, and we put up the classroom, and the classroom people could apply and take the classes, right? So we had about 80 hackers come in from our friends in Russia. And so we had to stop that. So you not only have to put in your name and your password and things like that, but I put in a question: how do you work for peace? And I could tell immediately who was a real peacemaker from a non-peacemaker. And so what happened was that we were able to put in that kind of security method. And what we got out of that was about 80 descriptions of how people are working for peace around the world. So that's tremendous amount of data that we have now just from that one question. Those people are taking classes. We have a few certificates that we still need to send, but we sent about a bunch of different certificates for taking the Alternative Dispute Resolution course, the Sustainable Development Goals course, and the Golden Rule course at this point. So we have a lot of people that want to speak. So I'm gonna, Claude, are you able to unmute at this point? go ahead and say something. Yeah, I'm sorry, Claude, we're not able to do that. If you want to type into the
Testing, 1,
chat,
2, 3.
um,
Testing,
have
1,
to-
2, 3. Hello,
We hear you, John.
yeah, John, I think we had to put him in a waiting room for a while. But anyway,
John can't hear, is what's happening. So he's testing. I'm working with him in the chat.
oh, okay, great. Perfect. So I'm going to open it up to Frederick to tell a little bit about where you are, Frederick, and what your, if you can just spend a minute on your project. We have it, I have it in our document that we're sending out to people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Fred.
sent you, it's evening, it's 7 p.m. right here in Kampala, Uganda.
Okay.
And our City of Peace is a member of the ICP, Makindye City of, but under the African Youth Peace Initiatives,
yeah,
which I am the founder and director. We requested the support purposely, or will help us to be utilized to facilitate the compliance issues regarding updating our operating permit. As you know, we are operating under a very challenging civic space, which is shrinking in many of our countries. And there are new laws that the government has come up with to regulate civil society. And many civil society have closed shop. Some are actually actors, peace, justice, human rights defenders are operating underground because of the environment. So we felt that it's important to be compliant, irrespective of the law, comply with the new regulation, and also to adapt to to be resilient and adapt to the, the
Yes.
changing dynamics.
Yeah.
So we
So
requested for that money to help us to update our permit. Then also we intend to use the resources to kickstart our next 5-year strategic plan, which is focused on promoting positive peace for the grassroots communities because of the increased divide between the gap between the rich and the poor, and the effects of the global economic, but also changing dynamic. There is a lot of need to adapt to the donor challenges, because you know very well that some of the development partners that were active here in Uganda were closed, like the democratic governance facilities. Those were focused on issues to do with governance, human rights, peace, and many of the civil society have actually gone down because of the changing dynamics. So we are adapting, and we are coming up with a social enterprise, which is directly linked to promoting positive peace and dealing with the socioeconomic elements in our next 5-year strategic plan. So
great.
we
Thank you very
requested
much.
for the
the laws that they're passing in some of the African countries against LGBT are horrendous, and we'll maybe we can provide support and help in different ways. But your program is already in the application segment, so thank you very much, and be well there. That's for sure. St. Benedict community, we'll do one more, and then we'll go to a little presentation, and then we'll come back to people. St. Benedict, you're on mute. Go ahead. Where are you located?
Everyone.
Yes.
I'm Diana Jomo from Dandora, Nairobi, Kenya.
Yes, and Dandora is the largest dump in Kenya, and there are literally thousands of people living in the dump, and this is just an extraordinary story. So go ahead, Diana. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to give a context. Go ahead.
Thank you. We are having a project, a one-day project that is a peace workshop. That is the theme of the peace workshop of this project is family peace. We chose the theme family peace to discuss due to many femicide activities going on, cases going on in the society, and we decided to come up with the theme family peace so that we talk with the family, because peace starts from the home. So we start with the family to teach, to talk about things that may affect the family, and also to bring a solution on conflict resolution. With this, we are going to use the flyers, and we are going to give the parents or the families flyers to put in their houses that has peace messages and how to resolve conflicts in the families, so that we can have this femicide reduced in our families. We are going to have experts talking to the parents and communities on how to handle cases or misunderstanding in the family without hurting anyone in the family. At St. Benedict, we are also a school. Our kids are also having songs, poems and dances that talks about that talks about peace in the family and peace in the society. We are looking for funds to help us do this sensitization to the community and the society. Our area chief will be present, and the messages will be distributed, the flyers will be distributed among the community. So that is the project that we have to do to teach the community.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
very much. Dandora has 5 phases, and all 5 phases have created City of Peace initiatives. And a few years ago, a couple of years, I asked the 5 phases if they could create a unified program so that funders could look at it as a wide scope project. And they did get together and they did a fantastic job, created a unified peace strategy. And, it's just extraordinary what people can do if they just get a little bit of encouragement. And I just hope the Dandora community, where it's literally a toxic dump where all these children are living, if we can provide them some kind of support training for free, then that's our objective. So thank you very much, Diana. Appreciate you coming on today. I'm going to go for our major programs. I'm going to go around to the facilitator for the program to give us a little bit of an update. I like to put our facilitators on the spot. So I wondered if I could talk to David Wick and Susan Jane about this new advisory group for the corporate strategy. David?
Well, I'm delighted to be here and welcome everybody. And thank you for sharing your projects and what you're doing. And it's very touches my heart and inspiration. And, what we're launching is something that can be a benefit. And that is developing the relationships with the business world of the corporations through what is known as corporate social responsibility. And I'd like to ask Susan, who is my partner in this, to explain that further, because she has real expertise in this area. And as fate would have it, we're both in Ashland, Oregon, together. So Susan Jane, please introduce yourself. I'm delighted you're here.
Thank you, David, and everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. All right. So in this far corner of the world, IT is working. It's so encouraging for me to hear all of these projects and stories and to think about the opportunity that we have as an organization to connect those initiatives with corporations who have commitments to provide various resources for worthy community programs. And that's what the CSR initiative is about, is harnessing the money and the resources that corporations have and matching them up with our international cities of peace so that we have even greater resource at our disposal and have those connections with corporations working in favor of peace. And having come from a large global IT company where we looked for these kinds of community partners, I know that that bridge can be built and can be very beneficial to everyone. So I'm just delighted to have happened upon this opportunity and to participate, and look forward to meeting and working with everyone along the way.
Yeah, great, Susan, David, thank you very much. We're rolling out that program this month. Susan and David are the first on an advisory board for it. It has tremendous opportunity not only to help ICP Central, but also individual cities of peace around the world. Corporations can work directly with you in your city of peace. You can contact corporations within your area, and what we need to do is provide training so that these project descriptions and the format and the main points, people can become more having the ability to create something that will appeal to a corporation. And that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to try to provide training for people to be able to describe their program. And if you can describe your program, then you have a much greater chance of being able to get the funding that you need. As I say, volunteerism is going to get us to peace, but funding kind of greases the wheel. So it's just a matter of two-pronged approach: heavy on the volunteerism and heavy on the seeking of funds. So thank you very much, David and Susan. Susan has tremendous experience with IBM and others in many, many places around the world. So she is what they might call a godsend. So thank you. Thank you.
Definitely, yes.
So another program that we're rolling out last month and this month, Jennifer Brady is not only the leader of Patchogue, well, with John Baum, leader of Patchogue City of Peace Project, but she's also the United Nations New York rep, and she's doing a tremendous job there. And so if it wasn't enough that she's providing representation at the United Nations for us, she came with a new program, an absolutely fantastic program called Sustain Chain. Jen, can you give us a little update on that?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. First, I just want to say how grateful and honored I am to be in the presence of such wonderful people who believe in peace and are working towards peace. We are in the process of onboarding onto a platform called Sustain Chain that focuses on helping organizations, corporations, governments, agencies, and individuals trying to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations. A number of those goals are the same as ours, including peacemaking, ending poverty, genital equity, etc. So this wonderful platform is going to give us a chance to be able to connect and collaborate with each other, learn about what each other is doing. It's similar to LinkedIn, so you can go online and you can share what your initiatives are. You can post needs, leads, solutions, and using computer learning and AI, it will connect you with other partners within International Cities of Peace, as well as other organizations and other people that are in the Sustain Chain universe. So we have been working with a pilot group over the past month to kind of figure out how it would work best for our organization. We created a couple of online guides for everyone to be able to refer to so that they can onboard and utilize this platform. And then we also did a demo, which is a video that's online on the ICP website. You know, all of you have so much knowledge and your work. We really believe that it's the people that are on the ground, the grassroots peacemakers are the ones that can really lead us to peace in our communities. So for you to be able to, for us to be able to learn from one another within this environment is just such a wonderful opportunity. Hopefully it'll also lead you to other resources and other potential partners. So we're super excited about that. I would encourage you to, before onboarding, going on to the ICP website and taking the course on the Sustainable Development Goals, so you're familiar with them and you can leverage the platform even more by utilizing the language of the SDGs. Check out the website. And then I'm available to assist you, as well as people at the Sustain Chain team. They have a concierge, so if you have technical questions, but we're really looking forward to using this to help us increase our impact within our communities and around the world. So I'm super excited to share it with all of you.
Great. Well, thank you, Jen. This is Sustain Chain is a huge leap for International Cities of Peace. You know, you can tell about your project, you can promote your project, you can find others that are similar to the project, you can do you know, outreach to academic institutions and corporations and colleges. You know, all of these opportunities come from what Jen has brought to the program, which is a tremendous discovery channel or communications channel. And a lot of people here are already on it. So you can go to our website, look under Discover Sustain Chain, and get you know, a way to onboard, how to do it, and you can watch a video of a webinar to get you on.
And we'll be sending out challenges to people to try to get them to meet up with 3 new potential partners or share what they're doing over the next couple months. So we'll be promoting engagement with one another there as well.
Great, perfect. Thank you for your UN rep. By the way, we now have representatives at Geneva, the Human Rights Council. And that's a tremendous leap for us also. Kjeld Lang and Finn Reski Nielsen. Ken Reski Nielsen was the commander of the peacekeeping force in Indonesia. So he's a very high level individual who has worked for the United Nations. And so we're looking forward to them getting their grounds passes and going and seeing how International Cities of Peace can become a source and for the Human Rights Council and what we can do in the future. It may be slow this year, but as everything else, it builds and it'll be a tremendous asset for us. I'm going to ask a hand up from Patrick Chun from Canada. Can you, I'm not too familiar with you, Patrick. Could you tell where you are? And yeah, go ahead.
Hi, thank you so much, Fred, Susan, David. Patrick Chun here from Vancouver, Canada. I'm volunteer for a nonprofit organization called the World Civility Index. And I was referred to you by Andrew Williams in Los Angeles saying that I should join this meeting. So thank you very much for this opportunity. 2 minutes. what is this World Civility Index? The World Civility Index is like your personal credit rating. But instead of measuring how well you can pay your mortgage and how well you can pay your bills, it measures how much manners a person has. It measures how much empathy, how much intercultural awareness a person has in that regard. And we focus on companies. And like Susan saying that, CSR, corporate social responsibility, we focus on companies because we believe that companies are what drive societal changes. So for a company, how do they use the World Civility Index? They are using it now in a few companies, including Volkswagen, for example, for internal performance measurement, what they call KPI, a key performance indicator. So this is a new performance indicator that historically they cannot measure. How do you measure empathy? How do you measure people's soft skills? So now with the World Civility Index, companies can start measuring it, and we have been at it for the last 12 years. So
Great.
that's
Well, that's yeah, good to know. Can you put your a website or something that would give people more information in the chat, and so that people can that's probably a very deep opportunity. So if you do that, then people can understand it more. I appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. I'd like to go to Penelope Webb down in New Zealand, and she has a resiliency project, I believe. Can you just spend a minute telling about that? You have to unmute, Penelope. There we go.
Hi.
There we go. Good.
Great.
Thank you.
Hi. We've adopted here in Kamara. I've been coordinating the civil defence group for the last couple of years, and we've adopted the national resilience strategy goals, as that we've found that these potentially will fulfill the 8 UNESCO objectives for community development, and they're a great platform to unite the community in all the sectors under the one unifying cause that can bring about, help us to reduce risks to well-being and increase quality of life and safety in the community. It's a great rallying point for the community. It's a really great way to get in touch with all of the stakeholders in the community and bring them together. I really encourage other groups to look into working with their local civil defence or beginning their own civil defence groups. It's really a great starting point.
Great.
Really
Thank you. Penelope, maybe you could put that on, join Sustain Chain and put that on there so that other people can know a little bit more about it and make connections, if that's a possibility for you. But anyway,
Certainly.
That's a good way to do it. And then, yeah, Frederick, go ahead. Do you have to leave?
No, I was just greeting my friend Penelope. I was just waving to her.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys know each other. Great. Well, thank you. I'm going to open up a quick presentation to get some context for the 15th anniversary, and then we'll go back to listening to people and talking to facilitators on the programs that we're bringing to the fore. And so I'm going to share screen for just a minute. Great. So, I've been here for quite a while, 15 years, and it's actually extraordinary. Every single year we make a leap And this year we made a huge amount of leaps because the facilitator program is really strong now. There's some really amazing people that are in ICP Central who are committed as volunteers to providing services for people around the world who just want to have peace in their community. So I'm calling it the promise fulfilled. 15 years of progress for peace. And by the end of this 2 or 3 slides here, you'll see why I say together we go where history has never gone before, because that's what we're after. We're after really making an impact on global peace, community by community. So I'm going to flip through this quite quickly. This is extraordinary. These are our colleagues. This is over 400 peace leaders in over 75 countries now that are committed to creating peace within their community, volunteerism, and looking for funding, of course. But these are your colleagues. And this is why Sustain Chain is so important, because each of these people around the world can join Sustain Chain and begin communicating just as the Dandara dump, the 5 cities of peace within that huge area, that huge toxic dump, are getting together. And then in Nakivale, the refugee settlement in Uganda, there are refugee camp towns that are beginning to work together. And instead of dividing the peace people, we're unifying the peace people so that they become stronger. And so this is what we have here. We have the potential for really creating a force for peace. What is the promise fulfilled? First of all, it's the Global City of Peace Network. That's just what you saw, those leaders, those teams within all of the cities around the world. Number 2, these are local on-the-ground initiatives. And so where there were no initiatives for peace, there are now initiatives for peace in 75 countries around the world. And now we are offering free web pages. We always offered free web pages, but now they're updatable. You can use the web page as your URL. So this is very important to people who can't afford to create a website and to pay for a domain. Free education from the ICP classroom. 3 courses now. We hope to add 1 or 2 this year. And maybe Catherine could help with that. But free education, free training. We're going to focus on how to write programs that you can submit to granting organizations. International Cities of Peace isn't a granting organization, but we are able to write recommendations. As a matter of fact, there's one gentleman on this call right now. I don't want to call him out, but last week he received $3,500 for a grant for early childhood education in Africa. And one of the big reasons is that we wrote a recommendation for him because we've known him 5 years. We know that he's committed, he's vetted, and the granting organizations trust us because we don't write recommendations for people we do not know. And so when we write a recommendation, oftentimes the people will get the grant from the granting organization. So that's a fundraising option that is very beneficial to everyone. United Nations Representative Jen Brady, Keld Lang in Geneva, Global Communication Ecosystem from Sustain Chain, the ICP Central facilitators and mediators, our mentors and advisors are at your service. The global impact on 6 continents. So empowerment of local peacemakers. And that we've been able to really accomplish in 15 years. It took a long time for us to get recognized by many of the global institutions, but now we're up there. We're companion models for other large organizations that are NGOs around the world. So the promise, I believe, is fulfilled, but we have much more to come. That's what all the politicians say. They say, well, we've done a great job, but we have more to do, because that's always there's a next step involved. So a full range of services to peacemakers. This presentation will be available on our website, ICP Classroom, online applications, free City of Peace listings and profiles, ICP Sustain Chain Community, corporate CSR funding program, the Rotarianism for Cities of Peace program that was just launched a month ago, recommendation letters, Peace Day programming with a video, Golden Rule Institute, the ICP video channel, ICP training toolbox, the city to city collaboration program, and Inspire Peace action plans that are sent to donors around the world. This is quite an extraordinary free service from International Cities of Peace, and it will always be free because that's what we're committed to. We're committed to every single town, village, and community in the world to take their place among the cities of peace around the world. So this is our team. This is an extraordinary team. We've added 3 people down on the right corner just over the last month and a half. That's the board of directors. There's Ines Palamake from Buenos Aires, Iola Amali from Nigeria, Catherine Lee from Honolulu, Lu Chung, tremendous work in China. Now there's 5 cities of peace. We have 3 peace institutes that have been generated out of the momentum of International Cities of Peace. It's extraordinary. We have Maboy Lucien in Democratic Republic of Congo, Danielle out of Indiana, has lots of ideas on the toolbox and how we can provide resources for you. Gabriella Pickett, who has 3 different passports and can go to different areas and create cities of peace. We have an intern named Hafiz Uzaman, who is a tremendous asset right now. And our consultant, Tawhid Islam, created the great alternative dispute resolution course that we're now providing for nearly 100 people around the world that are taking that course. Jen Brady, program for facilitator for Sustain Chain and UN representation. David Wick next to her, CSR, it was his idea. He's followed through and really created something that's going to be beneficial to cities of peace around the world, being able to go to corporations for funding. John Tilge Minjo from Kenya, who's our outreach coordinator. He's trying to create a peace institute in Kenya. Miamir Rekovic out of Belgrade. He is the continental leader for Europe. Peter Van den Dungen, who is our sort of sage for cities of peace. Lonnie Franks, who has tremendous experience with different corporations, an accountant by trade, but a peacemaker by avocation, and he has supported us in many, many ways with ideas and processes. Susan Jane, who you just heard from, worked for IBM in many different places, Abu Dhabi, in Shanghai, in Singapore. So she provides a tremendous opportunity for global outreach. That's Gail Hoffman, who can't be on the call today, but she is really kicking off the Rotarianism for Cities of Peace program that is going to open up channels to thousands of Rotary clubs around the world. That's Kjeld Lang from Denmark, Aalborg, Denmark, our 400th City of Peace, and he has joined us as a Geneva representative. So what a team, a small professional working group committed to serving peacemakers across the globe. And these are volunteers. They're doing it because they have the urge to help you. It's tremendous what people will do if they're given the opportunity to provide service for humanity. The first 15 years, empower the peacemakers, and that's what we're able to do. Peacemakers in places that are at great risk. We see some of them here today, but there are more. There are hundreds of peacemakers who have been given a little bit of a boost. It's them personally who actually do the work, but we as a team, as an energy source, the more cities of peace, the more power they will have. Ray Powers on here. He's from Ojai, and he's going to give a presentation for the council in Ojai, California. And that's what I hope he can convey, that Ojai as a city of peace is already extraordinary, but you put it together with 400, 500 different cities of peace around the world, and you create an energy source as a tipping force for peace. So above and beyond our volunteer activity within community, the mission of International Cities of Peace is to help energize a tipping force for global peace. To that end, we are creating the infrastructure of peace, community by community, to localize, democratize, and sensitize geopolitical decisions to the needs of families. And that's what needs to be done in the world, to sensitize people with the understanding of what dire circumstances some people live in this world. Not just people, billions of people are in great need. And if we can help sensitize that, then we will change the dynamic of geopolitical decisions to the needs of families rather than the needs of money or power. So I just want to thank everybody. A lot of people think it's only me. It's not by any stretch of the imagination. There's tremendous amount of work being done by thousands of people and peace teams, the leaders around the world, the facilitators, the mentors. It's extraordinary. And I want to thank you, everyone on this call and beyond, for getting us here and where we have gone, where we will go. We go where history has never gone before. And the challenges we face are existential crises. And we are at least one opportunity for humanity to make the leap to a more peaceful world. So thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to ask a few other people to give an update on their activities. Frank Thacker, you spoke a little bit about the new person that's learning a little bit about International Cities of Peace, and I want to ask you guys what your insight is, not only this Zoom, but just International Cities of Peace in general. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure. This is Darren. I guess my goal or my heart's desire is change is going to come from the bottom up. And I think that's what we're doing. We're a small community, but we have a lot of interaction with Rotary, with the Peace and Justice Group. Done a number of things, peace polls, recognition by the town council. There's an anti-racial coalition that's been going on. And also, I want to talk to you later about this. I've certified nonviolence trainer. I've done a lot of stuff on our website. So I'm thinking of putting a training program, Nonviolence for Daily Living, that we could put on one of the free educational things. Darren and I also are working with the local Rotary district to get the Rotaries to take leadership in having their town city become an International City of Peace. Yes, if they want to join as a Rotary, great, but more so getting their local towns and cities to become an International City of Peace. And so Darren has been really helpful, and he's a lot younger than I am. So when I move on, he might step forward. And he's got a tremendous amount of knowledge around the whole, not peace and justice, but how to convey. And he's had his own marketing business that he still has a hand in. That he and I had just done a video around what they were going to send to all the local Rotaries about, get on the ball and have your city become an international city of peace. So,
Great. Well, that's great. Derek, thank you very much. Frank, thank you for everything that you've done. Anyway, I want to go to Gervin. Gervin, do you have audio by chance? He's our latest International City of Peace. Are you able to get on audio, Gervin? Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Hello.
Great. I wanted to ask you, you're our 404th or 5th, I forget which now. It's hard to keep up. It's like children's birthdays. So, Gervin, can you tell me what International Cities of Peace means to you? Because we've been working with you for over a month now, and just speak a little bit about what this organization means to you, if you can.
Okay, thank you so much for the speech. What I can say about the ICP, it's that it is an organization that I've come to discover that it has a lot of potentials to young peacemakers like me, because just recently after joining, I had the opportunity to go to the ICP classroom, and I had to take the free courses on the website. So I did the first course that I did was about the alternative dispute resolution, which I found to really be impressive and very important, especially in the refugee camp of Naki Valley where we live, because we usually get such problems in the communities that can be resolved without running to the courts, but because people don't have these skills and information, so people usually run to the courts, and a simple problem becomes a bigger problem. So after studying this course, I had this idea to implement what I have learned from the ICP classroom in my community, to start training other people in my community and other neighboring communities about alternative dispute resolution ways on how to resolve their problems. And also, I had the opportunity to study the SDG course, which I found really interesting because it gave me a clear understanding of the goals and how to work on them as young peacemakers, and how all of these things contribute into making positive peace in our communities. So the ICP is really helpful, and I'm so glad to be part of this. As a Fred, we lastly talked, we had this discussion about joining forces in Naki Valley refugee camp to come together and to work in collaboration as international cities of peace, so that we can try to make a bigger and positive impact. So this sense of collaboration is really important in our community, as we find like a lot of people are doing things on their own. They are not really using this spirit of collaboration. And I believe that with collaboration, we can really reach far, and also we can achieve more when we collaborate. When we come together, we put our strengths together. That is how we can go forward.
Great,
So thanks so
great.
much to the It's really amazing to be part of this great organization.
Great. Yeah, just to reiterate, the Gervin is in the Nakivale refugee settlement in Uganda. It's huge, many, many towns, and there's 3 within his area, and they're going to get together, and that is going to bring extra power to the peacemakers in that area. So thank you very much, Gervin. I in communicating with you, I knew that you were the right guy. And so you are the right guy to put together a team within your community and you will be a case study for other communities where there are cities of peace contiguous. And so we have faith in you, and we want to support you in any way we possibly can. So thank you very much for coming and for becoming a City of Peace. Jen Brady, you had your hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump back with Sustain Chain. I see everyone's so excited to share when we have these Zooms, and sometimes we run into issues with IT, and then of course time is limited. So I just hope that everyone keeps Sustain Chain in mind as a way for us to connect 24/7 with each other, and also to let you know that the platform, you can access it on a computer, but it's also you can easily use it on a phone. So I'm hoping that we can hear all of your voices. And if you have any issues in a meeting here, that you'll be able to go on to Sustain Chain and share your knowledge and your needs through Sustain Chain as well, because we really want to hear from everyone and elevate everyone's voices.
Great, that's perfect. Thank you, Jen, and thank you all, and thank you for doing that and bringing that to us. Also, I want to just a little clip. You know, the website is completely translatable into about 120 different languages. So when people around the world come to the ICP classroom, if they speak Hindi, they can read it. They cheap Mandarin, they can go in and take the class. So that's a wonderful service that is also available to people who are non-English speakers. So that's good. Claude, do you have a good connection to speak now?
Yeah,
good. Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon to everybody. I'm sorry for the delay because of network problem. Yeah, we are here just Keshero ICP, located in eastern part of DRC, Goma town. Yeah, we are having a show project about our activities just that are going to happen in this 8th of March. And then, you know, after sometimes just about clash that is happening between M23 rebel group supported by Rwandan army and Congolese forces, and then that provoke too many displaced people around Goma, and then among those displaced people there are pupils. So we as Keshero ICP in National City of Peace, we have organized some activities. We are planning to organize some activity on this 8th of March. And our main subject will be the role of youth in the consolidation of peace in schools. And then the activities that are to be done, we are going to deal with the theater, sketch, slums, and then in our main objective is just to bring those people, displaced people together, especially pupils, because there are some pupils who left their schools and just are living in Goma, and for now, we as a school tried even to enroll them for free in our school in order to allow them to study in good conditions. So we are so limited in that situation, especially for what concerns the microphone, how active, because all of them are volunteers, and then we have sent you a short project, and just short project with that will help us to execute that
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3
activity. Even though it's there are other volunteers who are helping us, but we are just hoping that things will be better from that side.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Claude. I did receive your project, and it'll be one of them that is submitted to the facilitators for review. And And I know that you'll continue to work whether or not you get that because you are definitely committed. I've seen you over the years do more and more work, and your team. I greet
Right.
your team that's behind you. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'd like to, yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. Let's go to Bob McKechnie in Cathedral City and a little update.
I'm so overwhelmed by all these ideas that I can't imagine that we have anything to contribute. But we're getting our sea legs. We're refashioning. We have a meditation program that encourages individual peace for the individual. But we've also been running workshops to help senior citizens avoid being victims of violence. We're working with the police department on that. We also discovered that we had more money than we thought, so we're going to get another billboard. It'll be our third. And we're now in an argument over whether the billboard should say no war, which everything else in our thing says no war, and then it has our website, or 3% of the US military budget could end starvation on Earth. We've had both of them, but we are unable to decide right now. But our billboard will be coming up this coming Christmas season.
Great.
So we like that coming together. We continue to be disappointed that we're not getting enough done in a short amount of time. And that's very frustrating. We are starting to go out and be in part of events in the city. This coming weekend is LGBT Days. We're a highly Hispanic and gay city. And no one would ever know it really, but that's what we are. And so we have this really wonderful LGBT program. We will have a table there. We have magnets that say no war. So we're trying, so we look forward to see how that goes and how we can build that.
Great.
So
sounds like
we
you got a
look
lot
forward
going.
also to building more substance with our program. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Well, that's a lot of work, Bob. You're reaching out in a lot of different areas. So let's move to Barbara Muller from a city of peace in that little country called California.
You are so wonderful, Fred. Congratulations from all of us to you and the ICPs that are blooming. I just cannot get over how wonderful they are. I want to just say that, March 8th is International Women's Day. And if I were to give a hand up to all the people on this, I would say, thank you, women. Not that we don't appreciate the men, but you women have the power, the energy to carry things through. And as Fred introduced you today, I just wanted to applaud all of you. Thank you, thank you. We're working on March 8th, the International Day for women, to celebrate women. And I became one of the first early Rotarian women in 1989 in Los Angeles. So, women, our Rotary are also bringing new spirit, new life, and our new international president-elect is a woman. And so with that, I say, Fred, God bless you. Keep up the good work. And I love the idea of going to what did she say it was? What Jennifer said, that we have the sustain chain. Think about that, a sustain chain, because, the international, those are the Sustainable Development Goals are so broad that if you don't become focused, you can miss a lot of the opportunities. So I'm hoping the sustain chain keeps us focused. And thank you, Fred, again, I cannot believe it that you have that many cities, international cities of peace in 120 languages on the website. Come on, Fred, we can't keep up with you.
Yeah, we're making progress. Now that woman can communicate. I have to say thank you very much, Barbara. Your podcast is available to people. It's even on our website. So
peacepodcast.org, and Fred's on there. If you don't know who Fred is, go to peacepodcast.org and see this man in action.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
So I'm going to ask Ibrahim Tamimu, if I'm getting your pronunciation right. Are you able to get audio? Not quite. Can't. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to all. Actually, there is a International City of Peace, KJB.
Yes,
from
yes, thank
Ghana.
you. Yeah, tell where you're located.
That is from Ghana in KJB in the Oti region. Yeah, actually, there was a previous project which was carried by our club or organization. Initially, there is a neighboring town, which there was a chaos there concerning a land issue between two indigenes in that community. So, International KJB City of Peace has to engage themselves by recommending peace among themselves, advocating for peace, writing letters to our defense minister and local government to get the security agents prompted by rushing to secure people's health. And actually, we are now planning with a project concerning the recent pass of LGBT project, LGBT law in Ghana, which we are yet to see the assentment from the government, and we're waiting for that. I think with that, we hope to hold an advocacy of peace, because there is alarm blowing in and out from the people who, let me say, religious people, putting out fear to the government not to sign or assent to the law. So I think we need to carry out an advocacy which would help the government and the people to understand that human rights law is vital and important to all, each and every individual in the country.
Great. Yeah,
Thank you.
these laws are unbelievable. Just lately in many of these countries. So be safe, and I know that you'll do good work there. So thank you very much for coming, and good luck to your efforts. So I'd like to go to Bob Nichols now of Michigan. Bob, give a little update.
Sure, happy to do that. We are still working on trying to get with the city commission in Traverse City to get a peace wall similar to Sebastopol, California. We've hit a few bureaucratic snags along the way, but we are still working on it and going strong trying to do that.
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, good luck up there. I'll switch to John Baxter and Laura from Simi Valley. Little update, guys.
Simi Valley, good.
John, Laura, you guys got some audio? Oh, they're having lunch. So Lori Marshall from El Paso.
Hello, everybody. Here is the International Cities of Peace mural that we made. That was part of our conversation about how do we make a city of peace. And we are meeting in March to help plan the Earth Day mural that we'll be making throughout the month of April. So we're combining Earth Day and Peace Day. And again, inviting everyone to add their ideas, their imagination for how do we have peace with the earth. We're focusing on peace within, peace with each other, peace with the earth, and peace with the universe. And we met with Veronica Escobar last week, who is has joined the HR 11141's Department of Peace Building for the United States, and there are now 43 Congress people who have signed on that. And a Department of Peace Building would be teaching peace literacy and bully prevention throughout the United States. So that's some of what we're working on.
Great. Well, thank you, Lori. Yeah, the El Paso is right on the in the edge of a lot of controversy and a lot of good work at the same time.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Bernard Banturak, could you get some audio and come on and speak to us? Bernard? Okay, not able to do that. So I think an hour and a half is probably all we can ask people to be attentive. There's so much to do. We have between 25 and 30 different projects that have been sent to me. I asked people to submit a paragraph and a photo. So I will be sending to the facilitators, many are on here right now, a document that shows what they sent in their words. And I'm hoping that the facilitators, I am not going to vote, by the way, for these. So I will be the blindfolded carry out guy, but the facilitators will actually be choosing the 2 projects that are able to get now 500, thanks to our anonymous donor, our wonderful anonymous donor. So anyway, we'll be getting that to the facilitators, and hopefully they'll get back within a few days, and we'll be able to contact the recipients and get our logistics done, and be able to put some money into their communities in order to facilitate peace. So it's a tremendous opportunity. In 15 years, and as of tomorrow, the next 15 years starts. So I thank you all. I appreciate it more than you can ever imagine. And so we'll talk to you another time. These are quarterly. So the next one will be 3 months from now. Thank you. Sorry if I didn't get to some people. It was quite an extraordinary time. So peace. Bye-bye.